Let's talk about the layers of the Earth. Natakal na ito sa amin noong kami ay grade 6 and our teacher used the boiled egg analogy as an example. So yung yolk nagsilbi siyang cores and yung white nagsilbing mantle and yung shell ay nagsilbing crust. From your junior high school science, I know that you know inner core, outer core, mantle, and crust. There you have it. And of course, we're going to start from the innermost geologic layer, that is the inner core. Ang inner core ay nadiskubre ni Ing Lehmann noong 1936. Okay? Isa siyang babaeng seismologist. Pero yung extensive set of data, like yung radius na accepted ngayon, ay nadiskubre pa ng mga sumunod na geophysicists and seismologists sa kanya. Okay? And wala tayong sample ng inner core kasi sobrang init dyan. Ang temperature, it ranges from 3,000 to 5,000 Kelvin. Okay? Pero yung mga information natin dyan, saan kaya nagagaling? So, it came from seismic waves, yun yung wave na nag-travel through the layers of the earth. So, halimbawa, sumabog yung vulkan, nagkaroon ng earthquake, nagkaroon ng matinding landslide, yun, na-detect yung seismic waves. Okay? Also, because of Earth's magnetic field. So, yung magnetic field, pag-usapan pa natin yan sa susunod na layer, yung outer core. Okay? Kasi mas more emphasized yan dyan. At dahil wala tayong sample nito, wala rin tayong direct evidence about its composition. But sabi dito, it consists mainly of iron and nickel. Okay, so pwede natin pagbasihan dyan ay yung theory of planetary formation. Sabi natin sa Hadean Ion, nag-stabilize yung core and crust. So yung mabibigat na element ay nag-descend, bumaba. Halimbawa ay yung nickel. Mostly made ang inner core ng iron and nickel, but ayon sa ilang experiments and estimations, it could also have amount of silicon, oxygen, and sulfur. By the way, ito palang iron dito ay in crystalline form. Okay, so that is epsilon iron, isang allotrope ng iron. When you say allotrope, yung element ay nag-exist into different form kasi yung mga atoms they are bonded in different manner. Stable lamang itong allotrope na ito sa high pressure. So matindi yung pressure dito sa inner core. Meron ngang suggestions na is just a single crystal iron. Is also solid. Okay? So dahil nga sa great pressure, hindi na nagliliquefy yung alloy, okay, yung mixture ng metal sa inner core. It is also 1,200 km in radius. Okay? So kung diameter ang pag-uusapan, kasyang-kasya ang buong Pilipinas mula Batanes hanggang Hulo. Hindi pa nga aabot from end to end passing through the center. It is also oblate ellipsoid in shape. Okay? Pero mas spherical siya kumpara dun sa mismong shape ng ating mundo. Okay? The outer core was discovered by Benno Gutenberg noong 1913. Okay? So, mas nauna siyang discover kaysa sa inner core. Okay? So, napakainit na temperature dito. It ranges from 3,000 to 4,000 Kelvin sa outer part. Yun yung mas malapit sa mantle, and yung 4,000 to 8,000 Kelvin sa inner portion ng outer core. Yun yung mas malapit sa inner core. Okay? And like the inner core, it also consists of iron and nickel. Ang kaibahan lang nila, ang outer core ay liquid. Ang ebidensya na ang outer core ay liquid ay yung shear wave o yung S-wave na tinatawag. Okay? Ang shear wave ay hindi nagpropagate sa liquid. And nakita rin na hindi siya nagpropagate or nagtravel sa outer core. Okay? Nagpropagate lang siya sa liquid na may very high viscosity. Yung outer core, it has 0 to very low viscosity. Okay? Kasi napakataas ng temperature. It is also 2,400 km thick. At ito ang dahilan ng Earth's magnetic field. Yung flowing liquid metal ay nagge-generate. Itong magnetic field na ito, kung makikita nyo, represented by blue lines. Kung makikita nyo, dinedeflect niya yung solar wind na syempre nagmumula sa sun. So ito ay nakakatulong sa atin kasi maaring ma-harm tayo nung solar wind na yun. Maari kasing masira yung ozone layer kung wala itong magnetic field na ito. So salamat tayo sa outer core, di ba? Next is mantle. Okay? So ang mantle ay responsible sa maraming geological activities sa ating planeta. Halimbawa niyan ay yung movement ng plate tectonics, volcanic activities, earthquake, mountain formation, yan. Responsible dyan ang mantle. So, ang mantle ang pinakamalaking part ng ating planeta. Generally naman, ito talaga ang pinakamalaking layer sa isang planetary body. So, yung mga planets and even the planetary moons ay merong mantle. Okay? It is also 2,900 km thick. And it makes up 84% of the Earth's volume. So, tingnan nyo kung gaano siya kalaki. 84% ng volume ng Earth. It is also made out of silicate material. So, silicate, that is silicon and oxygen. Yung mga silicate mineral, sila yung main component ng mantle. Okay? And when it comes sa temperature, 1,300 Kelvin yung temperature sa upper portion ng mantle, and yung sa lower portion, that is 4,000 Kelvin. Ang upper mantle ay solid and malleable. Okay? So, para ma-imagine natin yung malleable, isipin mo yung lata. Pitpitin mo ng bato or ng martilyo, malleable yung lata. So, nade-deform siya. Okay? Na babago yung shape niya. And solid siya. Anong una kasi, yung early mantle, gawa pa siya sa molten material, pero millions of years na nakalipas, yung mga yung tubig na na-trap sa minerals ay nag-erupt, so nag-solidify yung mantle. Okay? And ang upper mantle, it is made out of lithosphere and asthenosphere. Okay? So ang lithosphere, ito yung nasa taas. Okay? Outer part siya. Kasama niya ang crust. It is solid at it is true na ito yung pinakamalamig and pinakamatigas na bahagi ng layer ng Earth. And yung asthenosphere naman, ito yung nasa ibaba ng lithosphere. Okay? It is made out of semi-molten rocks kasi mataas yung temperature, mataas din yung pressure. So, it exhibits plasticity. And kung merong upper mantle, meron din syempre yung lower mantle. Okay? It is liquid, soft. Okay? Made siya of molten rocks. Alam natin yun yung magma. Alright? And it is also good to note about mantle convection. So, ang mantle kasi ay may movement dahil sa transfer ng heat. Kasi, kung maalala natin, ang mantle, nasa ibaba niya yung core. So, napakainit. Nasa taas naman niya, lithosphere, kasama dyan yung crust, malamig siya. Okay? So, merong transfer ng heat. Yung convection current ay nangyayari. So, yung mainit na magma mula sa Earth's interior, pumupunta sa lithosphere. And yung malamig and mas dense na material, mas mabigat, ay pumupunta mula sa crust ay pumapailalim. Okay? So, yun yung tinatawag nating subduction. Lastly, let us proceed sa outermost shell ng ating planeta, which is the crust. Okay? So, it is the lightest and the most buoyant. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ito yung pinakamagaan na layer ng ating planeta. It makes sense kasi siya yung nasa taas, pinaka-outermost. Okay? Kaya siya yung pinakamagaan. Okay? If we remember, okay, yung stabilization ng cores and crust ay nangyari noong Hadean period. Okay? So, yung mabibigat na elements like nickel, nag-subduct, sila yung naging cores. And yung magagaan like silicon, sila yung tumaas, naging. The crust is also abundant of silicate materials. Okay? So, yung mga compound na naglalaman ng silicon and oxygen, mayaman dyan ng crust. Alright? So, it is made up of continental and oceanic crust. SiMa is abundant in oceanic crust. Yung SiMa, that is silicate and magnesium. Kasi, itong mga mineral na ito ang abundant sa oceanic crust. So, ang oceanic crust ay basaltic. Ang basalt isa siyang halimbawa ng SiMa rock. Okay? And ang oceanic crust, it is also continually formed and destroyed. So, nagpo-form siya sa mga mid-ocean ridges. Okay? So, dahil sa convection, yung magma from mantle ay nag-a-ascend. At kapag siya ay nag-cool down, siya yung magiging oceanic crust. And continuous din yung kanyang destruction dahil sa subduction. Okay, itong more dense na oceanic crust ay siya yung pumapailalim sa continental crust. At dahil doon, nagsisink siya papunta sa mantle. Alright? It is also good to note na ang age ng oceanic crust ay nag-increase with distance from mid-ocean ridges. Okay? So, yung mga nasa kailalim-ilaliman, sila yung matatandang oceanic crust. And younger yung mga nasa ibabaw. Alright? On the other hand, Sial is abundant in continental crust. So, Sial, that is silicate and aluminum. Kasi sila yung mga mineral na abundant sa continental crust. And it is always older than oceanic crust kasi ang continental crust ay bihirang nade-destroy during subduction. Palagi yung oceanic crust kasi it is more dense. In the matter of fact, ilang parte ng crust natin kasintanda na rin ng Earth. Kumbaga 4.6 billion years. Okay? And kung ang oceanic crust ay basaltic, ang continental crust naman ay granitic. Okay? So mayaman ang continental crust sa granite. At ang granite, we can say that it is a Sial rock. You may also want to take note of these boundaries. So, the boundary between the inner core and the outer core is called Boolean discontinuity. Between the outer core and the mantle, we have the Gutenberg discontinuity. Between the mantle and the crust, we have the Mohorovičić discontinuity. And between the oceanic and continental crusts, we have the Konrad discontinuity. And that's all for our lesson, Layers of the Earth under Earth and Life Science. I hope you have your key takeaway. And thank you so